Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we are going back to that horrible world known as the Judge Rotenberg Center. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. Merry 2024 to everyone. So, everybody has the tradition of making New Year's resolutions that they'll never see through, right? So, I decided to make a funny one. I'm like, this year, I'm going to listen to more of the band Rush. And if you're unfamiliar with them, Google Rush, Tom Sawyer, pull it up and watch it on YouTube, and you'll thank me later, all right? Because it is something that is actually easily obtainable, not these obnoxious new goal post settings that we set for ourselves that more often than not are not truly realistic. Let me go into this a little bit before we get into our usual video. What I mean by this, folks, is we will put ourselves on killer diets. We will spend the first 2, possibly even 3 months in the gym. We get stressed out, life happens, crap happens, and we all end up going back to our same routines. The reason why that is there's something in those routines, even if they're destructive, that is comforting. They were there for a reason, whether it's to help you better cope a situation, or you get my drift here, right? So when doing these New Year's resolutions, I think there is a lot to be said for individuals who look at things a little bit more realistically. If you're going to do a diet, do not go batshit insane, throw yourself on keto, and then condemn yourself like you were caught with your pants down for eating a small morsel of bread. Okay? You can take little steps that will not completely rearrange your lifestyle to start making yourself more healthy. I became a health nut gradually. You want to know why I exercise 2 times a day every day? Is because I cut those workout routines in half to much smaller, more manageable times to be able to do the workout. It has the double benefit of me not getting burnt out on exercise and me being more likely to continue that lifestyle because you see where I'm going, right? So maybe listening to Rush more, you may call that a cop out. But another interesting thing, I noticed they say self care, but they say that almost as a means of be hard on yourself. Why not make something a resolution where you'll enjoy some of the things that you like a little more, you know? Maybe you'll, as they say, treat yourself and go binge horror movies because that's what comforts you in this messed up world. Or maybe you decide instead of punishing yourself with a goal that you may burn out on early at the beginning of the year, more often than not, you say, maybe I'll take out more time to read. Or maybe instead of working myself to death, I'll use those few hours and just take a day. All right, done with my New Year's spiel. I just don't understand why it is encouraged for people to set up goals that more than likely they're going to end up failing on. Actually, I don't. It's a corporate gimmick. Corporate gimmick. What do I mean? I mean, you know who makes the most money off of this crap? The companies that are selling diet pills, or they're selling you a fad diet, or they want to sell you all their prepackaged meals that may cost you almost as much as a college tuition. Yeah, think about it. Make Make more realistic goals for yourself. Take baby steps is what you want to do is to get healthy. Don't have a target weight. Have a more manageable target. Like, I would like to focus on this area for this week. And you see what I mean? Otherwise, you are stressing yourself out before you even began. Now to the disclaimers. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the troubled teen the campaign against the troubled teen industry. Sorry, 8 hours of work on New Year's Day. This is what you get. Especially since I literally just jumped off the phone and onto here. Anyways, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic. It's a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called Behavior Modification Program. The Judge Rotenberg Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, folks, so you know the drill. Please read that article, share it on all your social media. Trigger warnings. First one is if you are when we speak about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please utilize the headphones, all right? Trigger number 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your kid is 16 and younger and they are watching this, parental supervision is advised. And for the love of God, do not try to come on here again and coach me on my language, all right? This channel has been fluctuating between 380 and 400 individuals who watch this content. I'm not going to be the next big YouTube star, all right? So I'm going to do me. If you don't like it, please look at the links and do the homework. I presented all there for you, wrapped in a bow. All right, where we left off last time. As you notice, this is a massive long run-on, so we're going to be splitting this up into at least a couple of videos. State-of-the-art treatments for SIB and AB are positive-based behavioral approaches, along with pharmacotherapy as appropriate. I am a byproduct. Now, is it perfect? No, especially not when pharmaceuticals are involved. It's a touch and go, especially if the individual you're treating is atypical. This is why it is extremely important for you to be very vocal with your doctor in regards to how a drug therapy is affecting you. Because there is this big idea where Big Pharma is the colossal boogeyman. Am I going to tell you they're not corrupt? Of course they are. But they're not the boogeyman people try to make them to be. Individual CEOs of any company tend to be the type of people you don't generally want to hang out with on a daily basis. They're literally put there because they're that kind of scumbag, all right? Everybody knows that. But there are individuals who helped develop these medicines, whose heart and soul is actually into helping people. There are individuals who 100% would not be able to function without them. So, and every time you hear Matthew Israel rant, remember two things. First of all, this man lost his license as a psychiatrist to practice medicine in any state. God knows how he's still pulling this crap in Massachusetts. Number two, like Matthew Israel, some of the biggest folks that come after pharmacology are selling some sort of snake oil in its place. Just keep that in mind, all right? The medical community now broadly recognizes that conducting careful functional assessments, thank you, how many times have I said, a properly done full functional behavioral assessment is vital. It is ground zero. It is the foundation of any type of plan or program worth its salt. You get nowhere without them. You're playing Russian roulette with a loaded pistol and you've got one in both arms, okay? It's fundamental. If your school is starting to have complaints and say they may be this or be that, don't just go with whatever the school suggests. Get an assessment done. It actually is shocking that the high school I went to in Podunk, Missouri, no less, told my aunt I needed a full functional assessment, yet somehow the more progressive Massachusetts didn't. Interesting, isn't it? And I live in red GOP mega hell. And I can't emphasize that fact enough. Please send help. Let's continue. In the addressing the underlying causes of SIB and AB, rather than suppressing behaviors with shocks, not only avoids the risk posed by ESDs, but can achieve durable, long-term benefits. That being said, folks, there's very obvious work that still needs to be done. Because one of the methods that they're referencing is ABA, which has its own form of aversives. One of the most famous that is currently used in the newer so called friendly ABA is the removal of beloved items, to where the person who's autistic has to pretend to be neurotypical and give the right responses in order to get access to an item they already own. All right? It is not without its problems. ABA has, it is a rabbit hole of mind boggling just evil reading through some of that crap. Encouraging you to do things like this when you would not do it to your neurotypical child who is acting out. Let's put it that way. And that's being extremely mild. We will have to break into it someday at some point. I know. Maybe when I retire, who knows? Can a girl retire? Do not tell me I'm too young to retire. I appreciate the compliment, but mother of God, send help. Be a call center jockey for 10 years. See how much you start dreaming about retirement. Anyways, we're going to stop right here because one of the good points is, in spite of the ABA being the main thing that's preached, in spite of its very obvious shortcomings, let's put it that way, there has been work that has been done in regards to helping to focus by means of use of the full functional assessment to dig into the underlying causes of more problematic behavior like self-injurious, etc. That's called dealing directly with the problem that is causing the behavior. When you get to a root of the situation, you learn how to deal with the situation so that the behavior that is springing from it, A, does not get worse, B, subsides to a bare minimum, which is, hi, how you doing? You can't eradicate it completely, but you can bring it down to a level at which we are able to function the best by doing the hard, long work. It's not the instant cure that places like the JRC try to sell you. Takes years, decades even. But it has the best results, as do all things when you put time and effort into them. We're going to kind of close out on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this evening. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you again in a second.